Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. Welcome back to some more of our White Sox franchise. At this point, we are 40-54 at about the midpoint in season 2. Not going to compete in the division, but only 9 games back in the wild card. The issue is, though, Chris Paddock is 1-9 on the season. 19 starts, 5.18 ERA, and 1-9. So that has been not a great bit, and we've struggled a little bit in the other pitching. Hagen Smith is at 500. Davis Martin at this point just kind of leveling out there at a 76. As we look into the minors, Noah Schultz up to a 70 at this point and still playing okay. 6-9. I think that's mostly because of the hitting down at AAA. Michael Garcia, who we brought in, and we traded for him at this point, and he wasn't playing a lot at Minnesota. We went ahead and made that trade, and I think he's going to make us a little bit better at this point. You see the All-Star voting and nothing going on there. And then we have one game. We're going to get into here with Taylor Rogers, and we lose that. And here is the draft. So we're going to be bouncing around a little bit, and I didn't really show a lot of the prospects like I wanted to in this one, just because scouting is a little disorganized this year, doing it every week. But here, Jeremy Leal is going first overall, the starting pitcher, over to the Colorado Rockies. We have the second overall pick at this point, and we looked a lot. We looked at some position players as opposed to some starting pitchers, but also remember the bonus demand is a thing. So Jeff McCallum here, 19 years old. He is going to be our pick. Can play any position out in the outfield. Good speed. And it looks like he is going to be a decent to above average hitter. So we're going to pull him a potential 84 to 96. Our scout said we actually scouted him 100%, is healthy, and only wants a 9.8 or so bit. So we're going to pull the trigger on this one. When I was looking through all the other picks, I was not great on the potential, and I just felt like maybe he was the one. Plus, we have a little secret that we scouted for that hopefully we can get in the second round. You'll see him, or the third round actually, you'll see him. The third overall pick will be Jody Strawberry, the starting pitcher, and is 18 years old. Does have a good overall and a decent start to that. We're going to send to our next pick, which is 43. We did not have any extra picks in this one. Damon Dill was another guy that was looking at that we scouted. No one else scouted him, so I'm thinking in my head, we don't need to take him second. We don't technically need to. As you go through and looking around, Robert Tyson here. Yes, not the greatest hitter, but a good fielder. Looking around from all the ones I scouted, and I keep on coming back to Damian Dill. Robert Tyson. Yes, we have a shortstop. We don't really need another one. Richie Whitfield was in there. Richard Cole. We were looking at maybe first base. Maybe someone could come in later for Andrew Vaughn. And then we see Bobby Means. So we do need some pitching help here. He is actually going to be great as he grows. And is 65 to 70 to start out with. And he is an 88 to 93. I mean, he could be a good one. Yes, maybe not closer, but a setup or relief pitcher. We'll take that. Going into round 3, I think at this point we are going to say he is the man, and we are going to take him. Damon Dill. He's a 67 to 82 starting out overall, and that's about his potential as well. So we'll see if that goes through. Round 4 now, I wasn't really sure. I ended up picking this pick late, or the time actually runs out, which I was going to make this pick anyway. I didn't really like anyone that we looked at. I looked through first base, looked at catcher, looked at all the infield, looked through the outfield, saw if we had anyone else scouted. We didn't at this point. Looked through the pitchers, looked through everything, and ultimately the game picks Tommy Stubbs, and I'm fine with that pick. Yes, 28 to 62 overall wise, but the potential is there. We didn't have a lot of scouting. Well, hey, we needed some help. Now, round 5, this time I don't let it actually expire. We're going to take Val Trowbridge here, relief pitcher. We need more relief pitcher development. And so we're going to take a swing there. Round 6. Looking through, and again, we're going to take a swing. We're going to see if we can develop another outfield. Hakeem Perez, left fielder, 42 to, I think that was a 66 overall. And that will be the end of your player draft. Now, remember, we won't see the overalls until later. He's 42 to 56 starting, 72 to 86. I think that's still pretty good, even though we don't have a lot of scouting on him. And I felt pretty good with that. For this next game, though, we're going to go in and we're going to do some player lock with Maikel Garcia. He's on a cold streak. We'll see if we can get him out of that cold streak here as we go in and take on the Twins, who are 54 and 42. That means we'll be playing a little of third base. And the game thinks Chris Paddock has been dominant on the mound. He has not been. We're going up against Joe Ryan, 7-4, starting pitcher of the Twins. And here we go, batting 170. Didn't bat a lot in the trade. I think that'll even out after. And that one will just be an easy ball. Biggest thing, though, in his plays, he's very good in the field. So just strengthening our field at third. And we just need to develop him more as a hitter. Next at bat, top of the 4th, and here's a big one. Maikel Garcia deep into the right, but not deep enough. Looks a little bit deeper from that camera angle. We're in for the bunt. Bottom of the 4th, it's bunted right to us. We are going to go to second. The runner was a 28 speed overall guy. We do get the first out. We will not get the double play. So Carlos Correa is on deck. They do get 3. It is 3-1. Trying to avoid going 0-2, and that's going to be a base hit into shallow center. The top of the 6th. That is a full count base hit, no outs. 0-2 count to Michael Conforto here. As Conforto is going to put that, and that is going to be into left. The base coach tells us to go for 3, and it's close, but we do get in to third base. Andrew Vaughn up next. No hits today, and well, it looked like he caught that, but he didn't. I went anyway. We do get the run in there. So top of the 8th, 1 out with an 0-1 count. Hard hit ball down the line. Just late on that one. And that's easily playable. So the first game, not able to do a lot of stuff. It's 4-2. Bottom here. We're going to go to first to get the first out, but at this point, we are not going to have some good luck in getting this one. Twins add 2 more to that, and that will end the game 6-2, the final, over to the Twins. As we go into the All-Star break, we have a couple of All-Stars. This is my first time playing a little catcher. So I want to kind of give you guys an experience. A little sloppy in this, but we are in an All-Star. Hey, I wanted to show you some catcher gameplay. Catcher, but hey, I wanted to show you some catcher gameplay. Catcher, but hey, I wanted to show you some catcher gameplay. And we'll see it. On the mound, Eloy Pena will be out there. And here's Edward Guerrero here batting at top of the 2nd. 2 outs. And that is going to be a little outside. Now, I feel like he could be our number 2 catcher going into next year. But also, we could find someone in free agency to kind of take a position and let him develop a little. He maybe needs 1 more year down to AAA. Batting 286. And here we go. Good cut into left, and that's going to be a base hit just from the left fielder with 2 outs. I feel like maybe another year. There's no rush to bring him up because Teal is playing great. As that one's low, and we steal the base over to the second. 1-2 count. Max Clark looking for it. Need to put this ball in place so we can actually get some runs. That's going to be put, and it's going to be mishandled to third. Throw over the first, and it is safe. Next one is Sebastian Walcott, and Walcott will air this out into right and easily playable to end the inning. Here's where I say it gets a little bit of a convoluted time when cutting. This is how catcher play is. Trying to catch the ball. I didn't really know how to do this at first, and that's why you're going to see some issues at times. Now the first one's going to be a bunt. We're going to field this cleanly, play it over at first, and there's an out. We get the first out there, Matt Shaw. On the next one, we will be batting here. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, top of the third. We have an ability to get something, and check swing called, strike 1. Next pitch going to be inside and broken bat, skied, easily playable for the catcher, and that will end your inning. Just bad luck there, in on the hands, and we chase that in. Now on the next one, trying to steal there. What a play. Great throw by Edgar to get the runner out with that good throw. We're on first here. Quero up to bat again, and we go into a double play, and just like that. I was kind of confused why I wasn't taken out of the game, but there is a mechanic, funny enough, of just ball and dirt where you need to block it, and not the greatest block there. We will throw it to second and be a little late if it's maybe on time to the right side of his glove. He maybe actually does it. And this is Robert Michelle also. It is our relief pitcher, and I was still trying to figure out how to do this, and we can call pitches with this as well. And in Showtime activated, I was supposed to actually throw it to X, and yeah, I didn't do that, so the ball's bobbled and a run scores. Yeah, that's the thing. That is a thing. So we're going through bottom of the 8th, and we mishandled this one. A little off speed, and runners advance. Go over to third just because it's a habit at this point. 33, runners now in scoring position. That's going to be up, and that's going to be a miss. 2-1. We are calling the pitches here, and that's going to be way not even close. Pedro Vasamel is nowhere near. There's Brian Almanza. First pitch going to be high. We do catch that one, actually. Next one, trying to put it inside. It's going to be caught in on the hands, and that is going to be an easy play out in center. It's a little bit of a messy here playing. We're going to bat in the top of the 9th. Burrow gets some good contact, but straight to the right fielder. And that looks like that will end this time today. We have a little bit more to play because it's ended there. Chad Kenny will put that high, and that will be thrown in. And that puts a runner in scoring position. Next batter, Aiden Miller, and that is skied and gone. 4-seam fastball right down Main Street, and it gets absolutely slammed. Yes, it is just the All-Star game, but still hurts a little bit because we were controlling that. So at the end of the day, have to be a little bit better, but hey, it's the off week. We need to get our major league team up and playing up to their potential because they are not playing great right now. So here we go. We're going to pop into a top of the 8th game. Penn Murphy on the mound, 8-8. Going to be skied over and right. 2 runners on base for this moment. Trying to hold the game, and that will advance the runner over to third. The runner here, it's going to be a bunt. It's going to be skied high. We will catch it, and the runners will not be able to advance or score. Trying to do a suicide squeeze there. Cody Clemens up next, hit into foul territory next to first base, and Andrew Vaughn will have that for your third out, and Penn Murphy gets through that inning with no damage, at least when we saw it. Kyle Isbell gonna be in shallow left. Oh, and he misses the catch. Isbell out here again, going to be swinging for the slider off speed on the outside and misses it. Oh, Colson Montgomery up next. Young player, and that's going to be sky deep, deep. And that's going to be gone into center field. It's a walk-off. Teal clapping his fellow youngster, and that will be a walk-off for the first year man into his second season at the big leagues, and that is a big hit. We like to see our young guys doing that, showing off what they could possibly do in the future. And we just need more of it. We need more of this type of hitting. That's right down the middle. A little bit of a, maybe it was an off speed. We hit it right down the middle of the plate, and that is gone. Next moment here, Colin Pache up against Riley Green in Detroit with one on. Gives up a base hit, trying to get the double play. Up next, Kerry Carpenter. Gonna put that through, and that's gonna be snagged by Vaughn. Tries to get the runner at second, but no lead off there. To keep this within is Victor Carantini, who actually refused to sign with us last free agency. So playing for Detroit here. We're trying to get this win. On the outside and low for ball 2. 2-1. Looking inside down the line, and that's going to be foul. Next one going in, 3-2 count. That's going to be up and over Dalbeck. That's going to score one, tie ball game. And that is not, they're going for home. The runner is going to score, and that will be the end. A miscommunication in the outfield, a bad throw in the infield, and that's bottom of the 8th. And we are trailing after being up by 1. We're still in this though. Evan Carter up against Will Vest. And Evan Carter, the equalizer on a 3-2 count. And that is a tie ball game at Co-America Park. Not what you want to see from the home crowd. Because I think the Tigers, this is in Detroit, they are not feeling that one. Carter showing the bats, and it's back to a 9-9 game. You see Carter in the dugout, and this one looked like it was right down Main Street again, and we just jack it into right field. All right, next one, Kyle Teal here, top of the 9th, trying to get something here. Kyle Teal gonna be just short, trying to make a jumping throw, and he will run out the throw. 3-2 count to Montgomery, and that's gonna be inside ball 4. So a base hit and a walk. That's gonna bring out Jason Foley with the pitching change. Bobby Dalbeck up at the mound. No outs at this point. Trying to get something. Gonna be threw a sinker down and just a miss. Going further in a 2-1 count. Straight down the middle. That's going to be a chopper. 2 seconds. Easily turned into a double play. No, Bobby Dalbeck beats him out. So Will Benson is up next, and that's a slider inside. And that's going to be your 3rd out on that strikeout. Colin Pache is going to be taken out here, and we are going to go with Ben Joyce. Trying to keep this in. Bottom of the 9th. And he has the fast pitches against Parker Meadows here. He's been 0-3 on the day. Next pitch here. Down with a sinker. A lot of fast pitches from Ben Joyce. 0-2 count. Going to be inside with a 4-seam in the triple digits. Andy Ibanez up next, and that's going to be a ball 4 and a 4-seam too far inside. Spencer Torkelson up next, going in, hit in the hands high. Will Benson into left, and Benson will have that one thrown in 2 seconds, and that is your 2nd out of the day. Torkelson's a good hitter, and we've had him damage us. Isaiah Kiner Khalifa will have that out into center. Isbell will field that. and we will get out of the bottom of the ninth. Into extra innings we go. 2 errors on us today, and it's not helped us. Kyle Isbell, though, is going to put that into center fielder. We will send the runner home, and it will be a 10-9 game with the advanced runner. A little bit easier to score here in extra innings. Michael Conforto going to try to push that through the gap on the left side, and that's going to be an easy double play, though. Fielded at third. Andrew Vaughn up next. Going to put that in high, fly ball, good contact, but easily caught in center field. So trying to keep this one. Penn Murphy in for the save. 1-0 count, and that's going to be in the gap into left center, and that's going to score at least one. Around the bases, Colt Keith goes to second and holds, and this might be a blown save here if this keeps on going. Well, it's already a blown save. Could it turn to a loss? Riley Green, well, that's another gapper, and that is the end of the game. Disappointing there from Penn Murphy. Just disappointing. Yes, you can't win them all, but the Tigers are looking to sweep us in the next game. And that's not good by any means. We're just shy of where we were in the win percentage, just shy of 50 wins as we were last year. Have another 70 to 75 win season looking in doubt right now as we take on KC in a full game here. Art Michelle is not up. They're going to say next year he's going to be ready, and I think either next year or the year after he will be in here. Today we're going to see Jonathan Cannon on the mound, 5-7 record, a 3.88 ERA, just not getting the offense to win these games. Jonathan India here, the first batter, skying that up to Duran in left fielder on a 3-2 count for the first out. Cedric Mullins up next in the 2, going to be a chopper's low. So actually a slow chopper to Vaughn. He steps in the bag and gets that out. Bobby Wood Jr., the speedster out here, is going to be caught looking at a circle change. Just great first inning. And that's what we've had. We're going up against Seth Lugo, 10-2 record, 2.26 ERA. A very good pitcher for KC, and he is going to show why. With inducing a lot of ground balls and a lot of flyouts as Duran here just putting that ground ball to short. Miguel Garcia up next, looking, going to be hit, has a little flare in that, but it will be easily playable out in right. Next one, Michael Conforto going in here inside with the slider and just way too early. Actually, it's the off-speed sweeper. And we're at the top of the second. Vinny Pasquino. And that's going to get through a diving Andrew Vaughn under him. And that is going to be another base runner after a walk and a hit. Next one is Enio Suarez. It's going to be a swing. Runners will hold their positions. It will be an out, strikeout for that one. Michael Massey will be caught looking at that circle change outside corner. Working through this jam. 2-1 count high. Sky into right field. Easily playable by Carter. And we get out. Having the Royals put on 2 and leaving 2. And again, the hitting woes are just continuing. Andrew Vaughn here. Slow roll over the first. It's in on the hands. Seth Carter. Again, late on the inside portion of the plate. And Kyle Teal out here, giving it a good ride. Deep into right center, I should say, and tracking it down. The wheels, some of these outfielders in the MLB are just fast. Back to the top of the order, top of the third after 1 out, and this one does not hit him. There is a swing, and we ring up Jonathan India. Next one, 1-1 count. This is going to be Cedric Mullins, and that's straight to Isbell to end your third. Pretty clean right now for both sides. as we go into the top of the fourth, and we put Bobby Wood Jr. on base with that inside off the plate ball. 3-2 count. Kyle Schwarber, and he's going to chase a circle change way outside the zone, and that's going to be your 6th strikeout there for Cannon. Schwarber just trying to advance the runner and chases something outside. Vinny Basquino, though, he will not be deterred. That's down the line into the left corner. Gonna bounce around, hold at the foul pole. Bobby Wood Jr. with that 99 speed is insanely fast. Scores from first, and that is an RBI double for him. Nino Suarez, though, trying to get the next runner up. That's going to be out to Duran. Duran can't make a play. It actually bounces in front of him, and runners will be on the corners. Next is Michael Massey swinging at that sweeper towards the inside of the plate, and a miss. The 7th strikeout, and MJ Melendez grounds over the second to end your inning. Still, Vinny Pasquino comes through and scores the first run. White Sox hitless in 3 innings. Maybe we can get a hit into the bottom of the fourth. 0-2 counts, and that's going to be our first base hit. It's Michael Conforto up the middle on a hard hit line drive. Still 2 outs though. Andrew Vaughn up, 3-1 counts. Gonna throw this one, and it's high in the zone. Maybe it could have been a ball, maybe it could have been a strike. Could have been ruled either way, but that ends your inning with a fly ball. Freddie Fermine in next, and he's looking at a sinker, and he is back on the bench. Cannon's throwing a pretty good game. Quality start right now. Jonathan India, chopper over to Montgomery. And an easy play to first. Yeah, Cannon's been great, but he just cannot get the run support. Cedric Mullins, though, is not going to provide it either today, as that one is sky high to Isbell. And that will end your top of the 5th. The bottom of the 5th, Evan Carter. Outside still Seth Lugo. And that shot into the gap in left center. Wow, Carter has a 95 speed. We're going to hold him at second, though. We need the run to tie it. Kyle Teal's up next. And Kyle Teal's going to jack that in right. The bat flip. It is everything. And that will put the White Sox up by 2. The catcher, the young guy, the young blood putting it out there, is 9th of the season. 406 feet. And that's what we like to see from some of our power hitting. Yes, it has to be better, but that's a start from the young kid. And just absolutely rocks this one. No doubter. The bat flip. I love the swagger and the confidence. So going into Kyle Isbell. 1-2 count. Isbell. And that's a hanger. And that's just over the head of Seth Lugo. Covers his head to try not to get hit by it. And that is a runner on first. So they're going to go over to the bullpen to try to not allow this to get any worse than it is. Still a way to maneuver out of that. But with no outs, 1 on, and you're down 2-1, sometimes you got to make a change. They're going to go to Lucas Sims, who has a 5.32 ERA in 52.2 thirds of an innings. And here's Montgomery. Montgomery going to be hit hard into left center, and that's going to be caught. So here I thought this was actually going to go over, and I continued the runner. That's my fault. Bad base running mistake. It just looked like he wasn't going to get there. But here next is James Karenchek. And he is coming in strong. Kyle Schwarber is swinging at that one. 3-2 count to Pasquino. Will be too low. So a walk there. Suarez up next. But he will be looking at a knuckle curve to end your 6th inning. Sox rolling here. Lead of 1. Duran, Garcia, and Converto up next. Bottom of the 6th. Already after 1 out. Garcia's going to put this up the middle. Good contact on that sweeper, and that's be our first base runner. Michael Conforto up next. And it's another hanger, and it just, wow, the chopper not going to make a play by first with that type of dive, but just bounces over his glove. 2 on. 1 more out between this. Evan Carter is up next, and that's a ball up near the elbow pad that he wears there. Next one, Kyle Teal. He's had a home run already, and that's going to be inside for a ball 4 and walking a run. Teal wanted that. Kyle Isbell up 2-1 count. Isbell grounder, playable at second, and he's safe. They call him safe. All runners are safe. Another one will score, and that's going to be maybe a base hit there. Montgomery's up next. 3-2 count, working it full, and it's hit hard deep into right, and it's gone. It is gone. What an at bats. What an inning. 2 outs. A grand slam by Montgomery. This episode has been all about Teal. It's been all about Montgomery. The young guys are coming through. We just need them to be more consistent with some of these younger guys that we brought in via trade, but also our development of some of these young guys that are coming through the draft. But first, it goes with John Curtis. We're going to see him out ringing up the strikeout there. Melendez up next, looking at that 2-seam, and he is back on the bench. It is 8-1, top of the 7, 2-2 count to Freddie Fermine, and that's going to be deep into center. Easily playable to Isbell, and that will be the end of the 7th. There's a party here for the Cubs. The White Sox here against the Royals, as Duran puts that in right, not able to get enough on it. Schreiber is out here pitching for the Royals. Miguel Garcia is up 1-3. That is hitting up to a 268, and that is a mistake in right field. And he is running. It's going to be at least a triple. Garcia will hold off a third, and that will be a 1-out triple. Michael Conforto up, and that's going to be there. It will be a swinging strikeout, though. It has to be thrown to first. We don't capitalize on it. Andrew Vaughn up next. Hits the pitcher. It's going to go to the line, and that will be a base hit. 9-1 in this game. We are rocking. We are rolling. Evan Carter up next. And Carter, that's straight to the shortstop, and that will end your inning. Big innings here, the last couple, because we're going to get some work in with Kai Bush and these last 2 innings. No save opportunity, and we just want to get a reliever in. We do give up 1 run. He was on third with that base hit to Bobby Witt Jr. Next up here, going to be a grounder, top of the 9th, moving into now as Suarez not able to get anything there. Michael Massey up next. 2-2 count, swinging and chasing that 4-seam. 1 more out to beat the Royals. Here it is, Melendez inside, and that guy behind home plate, and that will end your ball game. Great showing today by the White Sox. A lot of rallies. We're down at 1.10. Then we go up 2-1, and it explodes eventually into a 9-2 win. The win this day will go to Jonathan Cannon, his 6th of the season. Seth Lugo picks up his 3rd loss. So we do win the series 2-1. But here's our draft as we've signed all of them. Jeff McCallum, our 1st overall pick at A potential, starts as a 63 overall. Good speed, needs some fielding work, but an okay hitter at this point at a 50. Next one is Bobby Means, a B potential, 65, 23 years old. Does need to work on his walks per 9 and his home runs per 9, but he could be a piece for us in the next couple of years. Damon Dill starts as a 71-72, 19 years old, switch hitter. Has a little bit of power against lefties. Good speed. Working on his fielding. I mean, he might be up next year to play at the majors. There's at least a reserve bat in the dugout. Tommy Stubbs out here, 49 overall, B potential. He is 18, so he's going to have at least 4 years develop before we worry about that. Val Trowbridge out here, D potential. We kind of failed with that one. But in the 7th round or last round, Jaquim Perez is 76 potential. He could be something. So the reality is 4 big picks. Yes, the scouted potential, the actual potential 72 for Dill is not great, but he comes in already at that. So if he performs well, it's good. Now we've kind of went through most of the month of August. Pretty okay month, 57 and 76. It doesn't like we're going to get up to 70 wins at this point. A little unfortunate in how we're going in the last month. And when we call up players, I don't think we're going to be calling up some of the new guys. We'll get some veterans up and we'll see how it is. We're looking at the batting portion. A lot of these guys need to get better. Evan Carter needs to get better, batting under 200. Isbell at 222. It's just the hitting. Bobby Delbeck 206. We need to develop the hitting in this team. So next episode will be the wrap up here of this season, and then going into the following episode, it will be the end of the year into free agency and into year 3. So go ahead and drop a comment, leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing here in developing the White Sox. Slow burn, but maybe Teal and the boys can get it together. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys next time. Later.